great news, Seas Nation. It, and unless if if you missed the if you missed the the Celtics game on 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 Friday night, Tommy Heinsohn joined joined them, and he did. This is what a kick-ass color man does. He did the color from his fucking hospital bed in goddamn Mass General, and he didn't and he didn't and he didn't miss a fucking beat. That's what a really top-notch professional does. And anyway, big Tommy alert, people. Tommy announced within 4 games, his doctors told him that he, after 6.5 weeks, closer to 7 now, will be making his return immediately after the 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 the, the Celtics trip, the Celtics road trip down to Orlando and Miami. He'll be doing the the next the next game after the Miami the the next game after the back-to-back Florida trip, which will be in Miami. So he'll be doing the whole game, and Tommy's back, and Michael Felger, for talking shit. I have a long I have a long memory about you. I have a long memory about the bullshit that you talked about Tommy. You you kissed his ass now for the past 7 weeks. But let's see, for the preceding 5 years, you're like, Tommy doesn't mean nothing. Bullshit. You could die tomorrow, and t- Tommy would get 5 times the people to show up at his services. I'm sorry to say, but but it's the God but it's the God's honest truth, because you come off as an all-knowing prick son of a bitch, even though you might not be that in real life, but that's how you come off, as an all-knowing prick son of a bitch. And my advice to you, buddy, is take this Tommy Heinsohn health scare as kind of a whoa shit moment to yourself. I I better change I better change my ways, because I I I would hate I would hate to I would hate to be to be to be your age, and only have 9 people show up, which would be which would be which would be Sarah, your two daughters, your parent, your parents who who have who by all who by all reports by people that know them happen to be the the salt of the earth when it comes to people, how they got cursed by you. They they must have been they must have been they must have been members of a cult in a past life to be cursed by a by a smuck by a smuck smartass as a son. So my advice to you, eh, choose to take it. In fact, I hope you choose not to take it because it would do my heart. It would do justice there to have thousands of people show up for Tommy when Tommy's time comes, and when your time comes, and only 9 people show up, or even less than that, because hopefully hopefully your your parents will your parents will be spared the agony of losing a child. But less than that, that's comic justice for being for people. Your critics will say, well, he was a, he was a, he was a, he was an asshole from the age of the age of 20 the age of 22, and he's and he was a, and he and he was a, and he was a, and he's been an asshole since then, and he died at like 82 or 92. So smarten up, my friend, or the monitors at your services will be in the single digits. Well, the forget forget the Felger forget forget the Felger forget forget the forget the Felger transmission, but the 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 over, the overriding message is Tommy's back in 9 days, people. 9 days until uninterrupted 100% Tommy. I can't wait for the for the best for the best colorman in the history of Boston sports. I bumped you up one, Tommy. You're now the best color color guy in the history of Boston sports. How you like that, my friend? Well, you deserve it. I'm I'm out, my friend.